Hello there, everybody. Dr. Ricky T here. So bear with me while I go live in Instagram for a minute. Hang on, I'm going to go live there. And so we can be on multiple platforms at the same time. I think we're there. Jocelyn, my amazing person. Yeah, there we are. Okay, good. Okay, good morning, everybody. This is my mostly committed, when I can absolutely do it, weekly show up in the world and have some thoughts from the world of Rick Tamlin and the world of my inner life and my outer life. And, anyway, it is Wednesday, November 6th, about 8:36. Welcome, welcome, welcome if you're watching live. Of course, I would be remiss if I did not sort of speak to what's occurring in our globe right now. I'm a leader. I mean, in my leadership training, in my leadership world, you never sort of step over things, you be with things. And, you actually have to compartmentalize a bit. And, you all know what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to go down the path of right or wrong or good or bad, or this is great or this is bad, or I'm not doing any of that. Okay. That's not my job. I mean, I certainly have opinions, as you can imagine. And I voted the way I voted, and everybody voted the way they voted, and the United States has spoken. So what I'm with this morning is many clients from around the globe have reached out. I have clients from around the globe. They've reached out. There is this dance between celebration and unbelievable sadness and worry and anxiety, right? And we knew that we knew this. This is not new news. So I'm not speaking anything anybody knows. By the way, if you're watching and you want to comment, Jocelyn, welcome. Al, I see you on. Jocelyn says you're on Instagram. So some of you know I hang out in the spiritual realm and the business world realm and the leadership world, and I kind of have three overlapping circles that influence each other. So I just wanted to do a little, first of all, a philosophy and a maybe a spiritual term or maybe a phrase that you've heard. I absolutely know at the highest level, right? Hello, Carolyn. At the highest level, when I get my inner life and my inner thoughts aligned, it is always unfolding for our highest good, no matter what it looks like sort of on the physical plane. And that can be challenging to even hear, like, oh, that's just putting a pretty Band-Aid around, or, making it look pretty. But if you really go inside and go, okay, there's something fascinating that is unfolding here that we must experience. And again, there are some people who are, there are people who are celebrating and going, yay, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And, so there's this whole range, right? And so my philosophy is it's always unfolding for our highest good, right? No matter what, even whatever the circumstances, right? And it's challenging in these moments to sort of hang with that. And so that's the prayer person in me, the minister in me, if you will, offering that perspective. But what I wanted to speak to this morning is the thing that has been happening for me this morning is these two words are very loud for me this morning: being with, and being with my own emotions, being with my perspectives. This is the part about me, and then I'll open it up in a minute to being with others, right? And what I'm holding and what I'm knowing and what I'm wanting is that there is a breakthrough, that we have a breakthrough as a global community, as neighbors even, that we really, and it might be too soon, by the way, I'll offer that perspective in a minute, what I mean by that. But today is a day to be with whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing, to talk to a friend about it, call a family member. My family is, lots of texts are coming in, and there's some concerns and there's some excitement. Not, to be clear, not from my family, to be honest. But again, the range of emotions. Hello, Tenel. I hope I'm saying your name right. And if you're on Facebook, feel free to write a comment there. I do see those. But I can kind of link this to a leadership moment, right? To be able to step into one's ability to be with my own experience. I've had numerous clients this morning telling me what they're doing to sort of be with this. And then they're also talking to me about how do I be with my clients with this, right? And being with is simply holding sacred space for somebody. And whatever the perspective is they're in, right? And I am in a perspective this morning, and hopefully will remain there for the remainder of the day and the weeks to come, in the midst of all that's unfolding, is to be with. Now, I can take a stand on things. I can go into, maybe go into public office out of this. Maybe this is activating something in some of you that's like, you know what, this is activating and animating something for me that I need to step into. No idea. But for right now, it's to be with, right? To be with, and to be with, again, yourself, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through. And how do you do that? You go for walks, you talk to yourself. I do recommend, by the way, it is also a day, again, if you're on the sort of upset side of this game or of this situation, I don't mean to call it a game. If you're on that side of the equation, then it is a day to like self-care off the charts, right? I would not anesthetize. I would have a lot of empathy, right? Empathy for yourself. And, I'm just kind of going to the, we can throw our hands up and whatever, like, no, let's be really clear and take care of yourself and be nurturing of yourself and very compassionate. And I think that's the key word, right? Compassionate with ourselves, compassionate with our neighbors, compassionate with each other, and being wildly fascinated at the same time with what's going on. And when I'm at my best, I'm fascinated. I'm step into like, so what is going on here? What's the information that is coming through here that I need to be with, that I need to take a look at? Because again, you've heard me, if you've hang out in my world, we can be wildly reactive to this. And in the beginning, maybe we need to be reactive to it, and we need to be upset, and we need to be mad, and we need to be sad, and we need to be glad, again, whatever side of this you're on. We have to be with all these things. And I'm holding and hoping and knowing that as leaders, as humans, as people, as neighbors, we can be wildly curious about it with each other. Because very simply, you've heard me say this, curiosity is the antidote to judgment. So we can have huge opinions about this and, why did this happen? And right. And when you get past that, what do you need to feel to get to the other side, if you will, is to know and hold that somehow this is serving. Somehow this is serving, even though for of us, it feels like the opposite. So you're obviously hearing my political stance on this. There's certainly some hard things to be with, right? That's the hardest thing. It's like, how do I even be with this? How do I even be with, right? And I think that's what's caused the separation, is to really step back and go, wait a minute, there is no separation. We're all one. We're all connected. We don't all align and we don't all agree, but we must step into a conversation and a space of somehow we're all connected, because we're doing this thing together called create the planet, create this energy, create this vortex. And so that's pretty much all I have to say today. I'm being with a lot of clients today. I'm taking a class today, like business as usual a bit, not completely. Letting myself feel what I need to feel. Went for a walk this morning. Had a moment of fear for my life, a little bit even. That's in the space for many, many people. They're fearing their lives. They're feeling their livelihoods. And then ironically, I mean, it's just bizarre. I mean, it's just a fascinating thing to look at, and then I get this text that comes in about the stock market or the what's going on. And it's like, it's going through the roof. So such a fascinating dance between those two. So I think the word is to, two words is to be with, and then the third word is to be fascinated with, to be with, and then be fascinated with. And sometimes, let me speak to that thing I said earlier about sometimes it's too soon to go there. To get to fascination, I have to go through the emotions that I'm experiencing right now. I need to be frustrated, or I need to be sad. I need to be upset. I need to be pissed off. I need to be confused. Like all these things that we need to feel our way through, and that's emotional intelligence, allowing ourselves to be responsibly with whatever is, right? To be responsibly with whatever is in myself, in my neighbor, in my family, in my colleagues, in my world, in my work life, because the emotional range that's going on is off the charts, right? It's very high, right? It's very high right now. So, hello, Lori. Good morning. Good morning. So, I don't know, any thoughts or questions? Anybody, feel free to write something in the chat if you want. Um, it's a it's a it's a really interesting. Um, it has a lot of weight today, right? This. There's a lot of energy around this, and there has been, right? And we've been looking, the United States, certainly the globe on some level, has been looking at this day, and let's get through this day, and right. And one of our beautiful clients has said many, many times, and I know it's been said, in the public space, peaceful transfer of power, peaceful transfer of power, and that's what I'm holding, and I'm knowing, right, that there's no warring going on. There might be opinions going on in our heads, and we might have trouble being with people who voted whatever they voted. We might have trouble with that, but there's obviously no violence from this, right? So to be with. Um, Another a phrase that I learned many years ago in a leadership development program I took is, what we can't be with, we can't impact. If we can't be with it, we can't impact it. So, I'd rather not look at this. I'd rather not, there's a time and a place. But if you can't be with it, and if you can't be fascinated by it, then you can't impact it. Right. Over time, you just I'm in denial, and I just want to like avoid it. But as leaders, and as transformational people, many of you are, if you follow me, that's the interesting place to finally get to. Again, probably too soon. I notice even as I'm talking, I'm talking sort of on the other side of my emotional life today, because it's a little all over the map. But I will offer this, thing to do. There's a lot of reach outs happening today. I'm getting a lot of texts from leadership friends around the globe, and colleagues, and clients are, sending me videos through this great product called Marco Polo, where they can talk to me, and they're asking for support, and they're sharing their emotions, and they're stating their beliefs. And I think the best thing we can all do with each other is to be with each other, and that be with each other. By the way, being with does not mean agreeing with. That's the key. Being with does not mean agreeing with. So, but to be with each other through this interesting, fascinating day, right? So, being with, just notice, be with yourself. Lots of compassion, lots of holding, lots of find the perspective that you want to be in. Find the perspective you want to be in after the emotional experience. Then decide for yourself, what's the perspective I want to be in about this? Because the perspective designs your life, right? There's the reaction. Then I have to find this perspective. What is the perspective I'm in about this? And for me, a perspective is not a good or a bad. That's a vote. But the perspective is, and the one I want to offer from my spiritual context, is this is unfolding for our highest good, no matter what. no matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, something is happening at some level that we must go through. I don't like it necessarily. I don't. I might be I might be impacted by it. I have no idea. Maybe gay marriage will unwind. Oh, I have no idea. Right. That would be, lots of issues are on the table. Right. I'm speaking as a gay man. That's on the table. Right. Everything's going to be on the table. Right. And there'll be some, like, do I take a stand about it? Do I march in the streets if I need to? Maybe that'll happen. I don't know. So being with, and remember, being with does not mean agreeing with. Okay. So with that said, I was just chatting with Jocelyn, who's on our team in my organization, in my small business of with my husband Chuck. She makes all things happen beautifully. And I was just chatting with her just before we got on today, and I said I have to do something, and I don't know when this is going to happen. I don't know the timing, but I'm getting enough reach outs and people sort of reaching out that I'm going to do a call, a Zoom call, probably early next week. I don't know the timing. I haven't even looked at my calendar, but I just want to bring people together, and from all sides, by the way, just to bring people together and to be with, to maybe process it a little bit, to be with each other in it. Again, I'm inviting, all folks. There's no like, I'm only inviting these, bringing people together, because that's the one thing I know I can do, is to bring people together, to be in conversation with it, because conversation with it actually starts to, heal this, if you will, or create this. We've got this division thing going on, and I'm a fan of, you actually have to bring people together in conversation, because we only tend to talk to the like-minded. So I'm going to open it up. Email list. If you're not on my email list, Jocelyn's going to put it in the chat on how to get on my email list. I think that'll be coming through right now. Yeah, there it is. So I know it looks like a really long, we just kind of figured this out today. But that's a you cut and paste. I don't even think you can click on it, Jocelyn. Maybe we'll figure that out and online and in Facebook and in Instagram to make that a little bit better, probably later today somehow. But we're just kind of going forward on the tech side right now. Okay. So there'll be a call. I don't know when. The link is clickable. Jocelyn is saying the link is clickable. Doesn't look clickable on my side. That's me. So be on the lookout. Be with each other. Be with yourself, be with your family members, pick up the phone, call a friend. I've got people in my life on all sides of this who I love, and I've always had people on all sides of all things that I've loved. So, right. So I'm going to be in conversation and as best I can today, and support people with where they are. And because I also don't want to be the voice of, we can't, for those that that are celebrating that you don't get to celebrate. Like, how that's not cool. People will know my stance. They know where I come from, but I'm going to be fascinated, and okay, tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. Tell me the vision that you're going to hold, and I can be guided or possibly opened up to a new perspective that I hadn't thought of. Because if I'm really open at the top, and I'm really open to expanding my consciousness, the consciousness might not look like the way it should in my mind, right? And again, I don't have to agree with the behavior, right? So the other thing is that's going on just in terms of my work in the world, because I want to stay on track, and I want to get completely, off course with my work in the world. I'm offering a money class, by the way. This is probably an awkward segue, but it's been on the books. We're launching it. There's a money class coming out, and really it's an abundance class. It's a class that we're doing starting in January. You'll be seeing this a lot if you're on my email list, and invite you to go join me in this class. The bottom line is it's a consciousness raising class around your abundance consciousness, and it's also a money class based on the tactical strategic plan to generate more money in your life. So it's not just consciousness raising. There's a lot of money classes that do that, totally into that. But it's also, you're going to have a plan on what is your next level, if you will, of the income and the money that you desire to have in your life. I've always wanted to do a money class in my lifetime. I've never done one. I've been to many others, and I'll be leaning into this book. Oh my gosh, Jocelyn, I'm forgetting the name of the book. You put it in there. Oh, A Happy Pocket Full of Money. It's called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. I'll be leaning to that in some philosophy and ideology and some spirituality, but I'm also going to get we're going to get down and dirty behind the curtain of your money life, like your budget. And because just to kind of wrap it around being with, if you can't be with good money and big money, or the money you want, or you have all kinds of stuff going on around money, if you can't be with it, you can't be with your budget, you can't be with what do you want when you're retired? Like, if you can't be with those numbers, you can't possibly create those numbers. So we're going to have you be with it and look at it and get really tangible and tactical, as well as spiritual. So that money class starts in January. Be on the lookout. Jocelyn will put the link in here as well. There's the right. So we have a special code, save $100. The class is normally $497. With the code, it's $397. It's $397. Okay, 6-week class, and deep dive homework in between, like a nitty gritty, no kidding, and there'll be daily things to do. So there's that in the midst of all that's happening. And I know that many of you, stay the course, you got this thing happened, be with it, but don't let it take us over. We got work to do. We have lives to change. We have conversations to be had. Your coaches, your transformational healers, your practitioners, we have work to do. We still have that. We still have our quote unquote jobs to do in the midst of all that's going on. And that's the good news. It's like, head down. I'm going to focus over here, be with this over there a bit, process it as I need to, be with other people as I need to, and then quote unquote, get back to work. Now, timing on that, 1 day, 2 days, a little bit of a sidebar moment based on today, as my clients are reaching out and a lot of family members are reaching out. And I'm sure that's happening for many of you. So I wouldn't call this a distraction. I would call this a big disruption, right? This is life was happening. We knew this day was coming, and now it's a disruptor in the space. And be with yourself, be with other people. And if it works for you to align with this simple, high level spiritual treatment, or a prayer, if you want to call it that, is to really step into, this is unfolding for some greater reason that my current mind doesn't know consciously, but on the quantum level, which is the level of unconscious, and it lives in the field, something is unfolding here for our highest good. That's what I know. That's what I'm holding. That's what I believe. And I send you all peace, ease, love, health, and wealth to you, your family members, your colleagues, your organizations, your states, our country, and our globe. That's what I know, because we are amazingly powerful creators of how we want the world to be, and how we want to be with each other as the world unfolds. Because that's the choice we have, is how do we want to be with each other is very much in our control. I can't control the outcome of elections. I can't control, but I can control, how do I want to be with myself, and how do I want to be with my neighbor, and how do I want to be with people? That is in my domain of choice. So more to come, everybody. Sending you all peace, ease, love, and health and wealth on this day. I know I'm repeating myself, but more to come, everybody. Get on my email list if you're not. Jocelyn will put the link there. You'll be hearing from me if you're on my email list with a class, not a class, oh my God, a container, a Zoom call to actually be with this thing that has happened in our globe, and to offer some thoughts about it and have people come together and actually talk about it. So be on the lookout for that, probably early next week. So, all right, everybody, more to come. I'm going to do the end of the live stream, so bear with me and my logistics of that. Hang on here. There we go. I know it's awkward at the ending on the live stream. There we go. Bye, everybody.